Right then, let me know if the audio is any good, because I am going through my phone. It might not be the most ideal that it's ever been. But welcome back to the channel, everyone. Going to do about 25-30 minutes or so today. We are in our last day in Los Angeles, and then we are heading over to San Diego for the next installment of the US tour. I've asked for a lot of questions on Instagram, and but we're checking out in like literally at 11 o'clock. It's 8 a.m. So the audio was good. That's fantastic, because I wasn't sure, because I just had an alert which said it's disconnected. So hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully it sticks around. But nice one for everyone for joining us. But yeah, sound. It's going all right. By the way, day 9 with no Red Bull. Absolutely cracked it, lads. It's done. Jeffrey Ekong says Euro out for 2 months, so I haven't seen that one just yet. But yeah, I spoke to a couple of people yesterday. I was a little bit on the worried front in terms of how he's going to be and all the rest of that sort of stuff. But yeah, Cal says audio is good. Also get myself a USC jersey, much better than UCLA. Well, we was at UCLA, weren't we? Because United trained there, so I thought I'd run in and grab it. John says I would hate having your job. Listen, it's good. No denying it. I'm going to be honest with you. I enjoy what we do. There's a lot of freedom in what we do, but the hours are horrendous. Up until last night, I had 3 hours and 36 minutes of sleep since Wednesday. Now, last night I got about 4 or 5 hours, so I'm feeling quite refreshed actually. But the hours are horrendous sometimes. Lambert says, hope you're taking the wife somewhere better than the Welsh hills in the rain to make up for these trips. This is work, mate. It is what it is. Although I wouldn't mind doing, although Wales is where I'm thinking. I wouldn't mind doing a little week away in Wales. I want to take the dog. I want to text the dog. McRib says, good to see you. Have a great trip, brother. Yes, our kid. How's it going? Did I see any of the fights last night? No. So one of the questions I've had actually is about Mokaev. What's my thoughts on Mokaev getting dropped by the UFC? I suspect, I haven't spoke to Mo, and I haven't really seen anything other than the sort of quotes that came out. I suspect because he just keeps winning and winning and winning and winning, and looking at how much Dana hated having Mighty Mouse, who was unbelievable, as a UFC champion because he thought it was boring. Winning every single time you fight is not boring, mate. I think Mokaev being in the same sort of vein, I reckon Dana just decided that he doesn't want him as UFC champion. I think there's an opportunity for Mokaev here now. Something I said to him 4 or 5 years ago, which was don't sign for the UFC early. I said to him, go and do what Ben Askren did and just have this like undeniable kind of streak behind you. And when the UFC come calling, let them do so when there is a 30-0 pro record behind you and every single belt at your weight division. Like, he could now go Bellator, Cage Warriors, One, Brave, and just clean up all of those belts at featherweight. Sorry, not featherweight, 125. And the UFC will have to come calling for you again eventually. It's not the end of the world for him, and he'll get some fat offers. PFL, I'm sure he'll go and destroy in PFL. He'd be a brilliant tournament fighter. But it's one of those. Tom says he's not been dropped, has it? Well, yeah, they're not going to sack him, but they're not going to extend him, so it's one of those, from what I could see. Dorothy says, if United wins next season, would I shave off the beard? Absolutely not, but I'd be very happy. Jürgen says, hope you're doing good. Have United updated or upgraded the medical staff? Seems like the injury woes continue. Medical staff need to upgrade their game. I think, look, man, a rolled ankle, which is what Euro did yesterday, is unfortunate. Now, at some point, you're going to have to look into, okay, we can be unlucky, but this is happening very often. So often, in fact, that you think the luck kind of doesn't come into it. In terms of the hamstring injury with Rasmus, are we pretending like players don't get hamstring injuries, especially quick players? So, like, the frequency of injuries is a worry. I don't think you can necessarily blame the staff. And although I think the surface that we played on yesterday wasn't great, Arsenal also played on the same surface. So there's probably something a little bit in that. Dan says, hopefully Euro and Højlund aren't out for too long. Defo needs to get a deal done ASAP. So from what my understanding of is going to happen in the next couple of weeks is, I think there's going to be a lot of sales. I think you're going to see United selling more than buying. So many helicopters around here. Sorry if that's killed the audio. Damien says, can we blame the injuries on anything other than the pitch? I mean, a hamstring injury is not necessarily the pitch, I don't think. The rolled ankle, that probably is more like. Frozen? Is it froze? 1, 2, 3. I'm getting weird things going on in the background here. So if it's gone a bit west, I do apologise, but I'll try and keep an eye on it. Ethan, there's a tripod there if you're looking for it. Daniel says, United medical team have been concentrating on care while players are injured and not rushing them back. I hope that's the case, because I think that would be a big thing. Matt Jolly Trey says, the pitch was mint yesterday, what you're talking about. It wasn't. Up close, you could see that it was like baggy, because it had just been laid ahead of us playing, so it's one of them, I think, yeah. Darren says, what do I think of the stadium? For me, one of the best I've been to. Beer prices are ridiculous. I think it was $11 a beer. Get helicopters back again. Yeah, I think in terms of the stadium, what's weird about it is, like, the stadium's like this big, which is like a 80,000 seater stadium, and it's fine. It's just in that part of the stadium is fine. Obviously, with it being an American stadium, there are so much concourse and services, and it's really quick to get a drink or get some food and stuff like that. And the press facility is weirdly identical to the Allegiant Vegas stadium. But the stadium is almost in this weird sort of canopy thing, and it's really hard to describe it. But the canopy thing is like twice the size of the stadium. So you've got this, imagine like having a Wembley stadium, but then you've got this canopy thing that's like, you could fit another stadium inside it, I think. Like, as you're driving up to it, it's breathtaking. There's something that is a very much American football stadium thing, is that couple of meters before the terracing starts, where there's like stuff going on at ground level. That's weird for me. And I think that takes away a little bit from the atmosphere. Stephen says, Steve, I reckon United are training where they are because Gary Neville gave them all pogo sticks, and that's why Lenny Euro side. What? I don't know what that means. Andy says, I wish we had a stadium like that, but 100k. Jed's Dead says, I'm a little worried on the lack of movement on sales. I think you're going to see a lot of sales sort of moving in the next couple of weeks. I think you're going to see quite a lot of it. I would expect 2, 3, maybe 4 coming off. How long Euro out for? I don't have that information, mate. I know I spoke to a couple of people after the game yesterday, and they was like pretty worried about it, which is an absolute, it's a nightmare scenario, isn't it? But what I must say is I absolutely loved at the open training session, Lenny Euro was the last out there, and he was trying to make sure every single person that came out there got a selfie or an autograph with him. And I have so much time for that, I think. Kyle says, football, hang on, is this cutting out? Occasionally it keeps just making a weird noise, and I think that's when something's going on. Where crowd noise can affect visiting teams. I'll tell you what's weird. The TV, like the big screen, is too big. It takes up so much room in there that it's really, really difficult for anything else to kind of happen, or it takes your attention away from the pitch a little bit. Yeah, it's a bit of a madness. Meat says, there's a lag. I'm in the garden, mate. There's a hot tub behind me. I'm doing it off my phone. It's one of them, innit? What are the Yanks like on the piss? Right. Went out the other night, our little clan, and I thought I was in Germany again. We ended up, Joe described it great. On the arrival, it was like an industrial part of LA. There's all these people living in camper vans, and then there's a rave in a warehouse that's got no signs on it, and the music is like hard German, hardcore or techno. And I had a fucking great night. I literally, in the middle of being there, was like, we're going to be telling people about that night that we went to a rave in Skid Row. And it was fucking class. Alex says, hopefully our new stadium has hologram technology. Why do you need hologram technology? Yeah, I do agree, actually. Because I think, okay, Euro's injured, which is a bit of a problem. But really, Euro is not an upgrade right now on Raphael Varane. I think he will end up being close to, potentially even better than, but like, it's hard to improve on Raphael Varane except for availability, which Euro's not a great start to. Obviously not his fault, but it's reality in it. So Euro is not an immediate upgrade on Raphael Varane. Raphael Varane was very, very good for us when he played. Just arguably didn't play enough, and also the stage in his career that he was at, we needed someone like a Euro or 21 and under maybe that might be able to come and do that job for like a decade. So Lenny Euro was the right sign at the right time, but just being raw and analytical about it, he doesn't improve on Raphael Varane. Same at left side centre half. Martinez, when he's available, for me is one of the best Premier League centre halves. The issue isn't ability with Martinez, it's availability with Martinez. Left back and right back is the same situation as it was last season. Hariamas has started quite well. He might alleviate some of the dramas that we've had there in terms of backup. I'm not sure I could say he's any more than backup right now, though. In midfield, yes, Kobe Mainoo. We had Kobe Mainoo last season. Casemiro looks lean, so if we're forced to keep Casemiro, that might not be the worst thing in the world, but I think you've got to get in a number 6. So that position hasn't improved. Your defence has not improved. The goalkeeping situation hasn't improved. Not that we needed it to, but it just factually hasn't improved. The striking department has had some strength added to it in terms of Xerxes coming in. That upgrades Martial because of availability, we hope. But if he doesn't start, where have we improved? Mason, have we improved? Yes, it's the same team. Now, you might get a significantly better performance from the team because of availabilities and selection. And there might be an evolution in terms of tactics and mood and momentum. But that team has not significantly or maybe even materially improved. I think that would be very, very fair to say. I mean, let me know in the chat. Do you agree or disagree with that one, I think? Knight says the only upgrades is a better 6, a right winger and a striker. I think that Ahmad can really take that slot. I really do. I like what he offers. Richard says, let's be honest, Steve, the problems with Martinez were all down to rubbish medical department. Not necessarily, man. I mean, look at the injury that he got. Was it Souček just jumps on his knee? Like, that's nothing to do with our medical department, is it? Danny says, Ito just broke his foot, so either that accelerates Brian's transfer for Tar to join them, then De Ligt to join us, or they won't sell De Ligt for this season. Tricky situation. Yeah, it's going to be... it's got a bit to resolve, hasn't it? Right, I'm going to go into some of the questions that I got on Instagram. Obviously, we got that one there on Mokayev. What's my favourite international football team? Like, what, right now or sort of historically? Historically, I kind of like what the Dutch do. And I also kind of like that they're permanent underdogs a little bit because they just don't win stuff. Otherwise, you know, Brazil historically, but they're shit at the moment. Don't know, difficult, innit? Yeah, I couldn't really answer that straight, to be honest. Abith says, did Ronaldo Brown start the quote, the best ability is availability, because I see him a lot. I see it a lot on United's content these days. He's the first person that repeated it to me. I've heard it before a long time ago, and I want to say it was an American football quote, which may be where he gets it from, because he does watch that. Oh, by the way, yesterday, I was accidentally hanging out with a load of the LA Rams, and I didn't realise I was hanging out with a load of the LA Rams because I don't know any LA Rams. So I got a press access thing. I was watching from a balcony with a load of United fans. When we go to these things, right, me and Mac, we don't sit in the press because it's fucking dry. I'm a football fan, and my job, as I see it, is to create content as a fan. I'm not a journalist. I'm not there to give you unbiased commentary. That's not what I do. I give you biased fan commentary because I'm an authentic fan. I'm not going to sit in press because that's not where I would enjoy watching the game. I go and get a beer and I go and get in the mixer. Sorry, do you know what? I don't know when it cut out. I'm going to redo that question in case it got missed. So, I don't know where we started it, but I was saying that I bumped into the LA Rams yesterday. I bumped into the LA Rams in the back end. We've got press. I don't like to sit in press when we come and do these things because that's not how I consume football. It's not who I am, and it's not what I think my job is as a content creator around football, specifically Man United. I think what I do is me being me and consuming football. I'm not the guy to go to for your really neutral, highbrow analysis of what's going to happen. I'd like to get into the analytical and tactical side of the games, but it's 100% biased because I'm a United fan and I'm not here to give you unbiased opinion. I'm here to give you biased opinion. That's what I'm about. You know, I am a United fan, unapologetically so, and I'm going to tell you what I think from a United perspective. I couldn't give a fuck what Arsenal do. I couldn't give a fuck what anyone else does. I'm here for United only. So when we come to these things and we get press access, which is great, why it keeps doing this. I don't know if it's a battery thing or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to get a beer. I'm going to get in the stand. I'm going to watch with the fans because that's me and that's what I'm here to do. So, you know, yesterday, that's what I did. And because I wasn't with the rest of the press, I had to make my own way down to the mix zone for afterwards. And as I'm finding my way through the belly of the stadium, I run into these fucking units. And at first I thought, oh, was this military? Is this some sort of like, you know, plainclothes military or something like that? Because that was the vibe I was getting off them. Maybe about, I don't know, 15, 16 blokes. And I'm just sort of sitting there observing, young as well. So I was thinking, is it a college football team? Because they were really young. And I wasn't quite sure. And then I'm starting to try and clock some stuff. They was all wearing like a little wristband and it said LA Rams training camp. And I was like, right, okay, this might be the LA Rams American football team. I don't know. I don't know any of them. So Ronaldo does. So this morning I was texting Ronaldo saying, oh, here's who they was. So if anyone's interested, there was one pretty big star on there, I gather, because he won Rookie of the Year. I didn't know that. Ronaldo told me that this morning. That was a guy called Puka Nakua. There was a guy called Kyron Williams, Jake Hummel, Ethan Evans, and Royce Freeman. So they were all, that was who I was chatting to. But yeah, I didn't know. Just one of them, innit? But yeah, so I probably did the equivalent of asking Marcus Rashford, is he a football player, to them yesterday. So I was like, are you guys the LA Rams? And it was like, yeah. So I ended up just having a chat about the match with them. But yeah, it was cool. Super chat from Maya Amateur says, nice meeting you yesterday by the balcony. Dope and gracious enough to take a photo. Mate, I'm going to take a photo of anyone, right? I don't like doing it, but I'm gonna, because I'm not going to be the guy that says no. You know what I mean? But yeah, nice to meet you, mate. Please talk about football / Chima. There's no guarantees that that's going to happen, mate, to be honest with you. If we sack De Ligt, is Euro on the bench, says Ellie Jits. I think our need for De Ligt has just increased a little bit, to be honest. Gary Connolly says, from seeing matches and training, does Casemiro look fit or still off the pace? He looks leaner. I don't know if he looks sharper physically yet, but he definitely looks like he's about a stone or more leaner. Do the players getting a cut of the shirt sale, says Nath J. Tom? Some can in their contract, yeah. That's a little bit of an image rights stuff. Cooper says sunny, innit? It is sunny. I fucking love the weather out here. Genuinely, LA weather is top. I can see why it's a popular spot. Am I familiar with the Patrice O'Neill, Jim Norton rant about Face Off and Nicolas Cage in general? No, I'm not, but everybody send me that. I think my shit's just frozen again. I do watch American football and I do enjoy American football. I just don't have a team. So I'm gonna try, I think, and convert myself to a college football team, but I don't have any connection to any of them. So I find it hard to just pick one. But we'll see, won't it? When's the next Paddock live show? I don't know, mate. Dale's Lost says, looks like academy players can play the Ten Hag system, but not the senior players' thoughts. I don't know, maybe they get a little bit more work on shape because they're not at the midweek travel that some of the European games has given us. If Euro is out for half the season, do we buy 2 centre-halves? No, I don't think you do. Amas is good enough to be. Is Amas good enough to be second choice? Will he be third choice? I think behind Malacia once Malacia is fit, but I think he could easily get games. I mean, I spoke to him yesterday and I said as much to him. I said he was good. He said he felt strong, and I said, look, you got a fucking real opportunity here, mate. Like you're gonna get minutes because of availability issues for everyone else. You just got to take it when it comes. Joe says they only have shitty beer like Bud Light and Coors Light over there. Yeah. I think there might have been Michelob yesterday, but I'm not a fan of it, so I ended up just going with a Bud Light. But massive cans for such a hot place. Give me the little free 30ml cans, man. That's the right size because the beer stays cold all the way through. Otherwise, it just takes too long. Getting the beer warms up and no one wants room temperature beer, man. One massive cack says, with a year of training, could I get an Olympic medal in clay pigeon shooting? Ooh. So a year of 8-hour-a-day training. It's just chopped out again on me. So I'll repeat that question. So one massive cack says, with a year of training, could I get an Olympic medal in clay pigeon shooting? I don't know if we saw that or it cut out or whatever. 8 hours a day training, 10 hours a day training, every single day, getting into competitions. I don't think any of the club level shooters in Britain at the moment are necessarily doing that. I don't know if anyone's fortunate enough to be able to dedicate like hundreds of hours a week to be able to hone their craft. I'm pretty good at clays, but I'm probably like a club level shooter. The difference is, where would that take me? My right eye is not the greatest. It's a little bit fucked, to be honest. It focuses slow, and I do a bit of guessing when I'm shooting with it. So I think that may be a limitation for me, but I don't know. The academy player that's impressed me the most ever, Angel Gomez, Mason Greenwood coming through were an absolute disgrace. Ethan's looking around. What have you lost, Flower?
Just one last check.
One last check. Just doing a sweep. Just doing a sweep. Doing a sweep. How do I think United do next season? Happy with top 4 and competing for a trophy again, I think. We got to calm it down, I think. Area 51 visit on tour. I don't think they have like a gift shop and like do tours of it, do they? Chris says, what do I like better, San Diego or LA? I think I could live in San Diego. I don't mind visiting LA. There's a lot to do. But San Diego feels like a place that I could actually live. I'm worried, Steve, the squad ain't enough. Need more players and they sell a lot too. Am I worried? A little bit, but I'm also fairly confident. Like I think that the new football board have been impressive, and I think they're going to get a lot over the line, I think, too. My phone cannot take the heat. I think it might be the heat, actually. It does feel a little bit. How do I find America compared to the UK? I'm not sure. Maybe on what? Steven says maybe clay pigeons is an art form. What does that mean? The Rutty says, why isn't Lindelof with the rest of the team during the tour? Has he been told he's not wanted anymore? I think Lindelof's going, yeah. I mean, he was there yesterday. Has Jake that hoodie off yet? Yeah. Have you ever watched the film Road about the Dunlop family in road racing? Amazing all the time. This is really annoying, isn't it? Sorry. So the question I just got then was, I don't know. It's gone now. Katie says, why can't we be a possession-based team rather than chase the balls every time against lesser teams? I think we want to be a possession-based team, but you need the personnel to be able to be a possession-based team, and sometimes that's a little bit difficult. What's been the biggest surprise of the tour so far? The fucking amount of sleep I've got. I pulled my calf as well. And I know no one's shocked about that if you keep up to date with my training, because they're just shit. I ran up to the Hollywood sign the other morning and felt fucking great doing it. Quick little 1.5 mile run uphill, rough terrain, cross country. Fantastic. Well earned sunrise. Sunrise took ages because it was right over the side of one of the mountains. And I'd cooled down, phoned my wife, spoke to my mum, waiting for the sunrise to come up, and then ran back down. And about 6 minutes into the run down, I'd cooled down and my calf popped. So I'm not going to be running anymore while I'm out here. And I'm supposed to be doing an ultramarathon in September, which is going to be iffy, I think, to get that done. But we move. It's Salias, if anyone's asked. Dan Halliday says, the best rum I've had. I don't think you can beat Diplomatico, but Salford's a close second to it, which is fantastic. Prashit says, any updates on Shea Lacey? Thought he would have travelled to the tour. Me too, actually. I did think he would have gone on the tour. I don't know. If I see Fletch, I might ask him. Because Fletcher's been quite chatty when we've been out here. How's the food in the States? I think it's been better this time than previous times. I think that just shot selection rather than anything else. Who are the highly rated youngsters coming out of academy who can play in 5 years' time? Well, you're looking at the 16-year-olds there for now, and a little bit more watching required, because the under-18s, there's a lot changes. Physically, there's a lot changes. When you're watching lads at 15 and 16, there's a lot of see if we get any more. This is freezing again, isn't it? I've been to In-N-Out Burger, yeah. Yes, had a double-double. Twice. How much did I squeal meeting Rude? He's just ledge, isn't he? He's just absolutely ledge. And there's a vibe about him as well. So I was watching them train and keeping an eye on the coaching staff. I'm trying to learn myself. You know, obviously I coach myself, so I'm trying to pick up from the best in the game. Anytime that training's on, I'm absolutely fucking burning holes into people, trying to watch and take notes and stuff. And I'm watching how it was really interesting to watch how Rude looked like he was taking the session. It looked like Rude's session. And Ten Hag was kind of just buzzing about, chatting to people. But I also think it was really good, the likes of Dave Brailsford and Ashworth and Jason Wilcox were at training. I think that's a real show of support for the manager, man. So it was interesting watching that and watching Rude do his work. Rennie Hack was kind of being a bit of a Sergeant Major about it, like buzzing about, keeping the tempo, keeping the energy, giving a little bit of detail and that. But yeah, it was a good little session, man. So, and I know that there's private sessions going on as well where other things are sort of happening. But yeah, right. I'm gonna go a few more questions from the YouTube comments, and I'm gonna bounce because this is just crumbling in it all the time. Disco Stew says, Rude, genuinely my favourite striker ever in my lifetime for United. Noto says, United unlooker is a structural problem in the health and fitness system at United. Could be a little bit of both. James says it's so good to have Ruud van Nistelrooy back. Totally agree. Is there a Popeyes in Manchester? I feel like there might be Popeyes in England now. I don't know if there is in Manchester though. Where did I buy the Beckham kit? Classic football shirts. Thoughts on the Paddock FC result yesterday? Should I read out what I put to the lads in the chat? Let me just find it. So what I said to the lads yesterday was we totally threw it away. We conceded from mistakes. We had to work to score. Shocking in the defensive third with the ball the whole game. We didn't get Jay on the ball at all. We didn't manage to have any level of shape in their half. We lost possession before we could transition to it. We give the wingers and the strikers nothing to work on. Defensively too deep, too big a gap between the lines. We was fucking poor. I said when we actually started to play, we looked good, but it was flashes and moments and it wasn't sustained. So that's what I give the lads yesterday. What's the plan for me and the lads today? Checking out in 27 minutes. So I'm literally going to wrap it up in 2. And then Jay's going interviewing Jamie Jackson for the channel. And then it's drive to San Diego. So that's that. Ben says United still look to be launching the ball up the pitch rather than controlling the game. I tend to agree on that one, to be honest. I'm wondering if that's where Manu comes in and maybe mixes that up a little bit. Rashid says we have issues getting Delic, the defender we sign, have a broken leg and they need 2 defenders. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. Knight says, isn't Manu in LA right now? Yeah, but he's on holiday. He's got 3 weeks from the last game, so he's doing his own thing. Zombib says, Popeyes in Piccadilly Gardens. Yeah, I thought I'd seen it. Jack says, have fun, Steve. I intend to, mate. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up now. So if anyone's got any suggestions, when I close the video, hit me up with suggestions for things that must see, especially military things, because you know I'm probably not going to come to San Diego more than once or twice for the rest of my life, I don't think. So tell me where I need to go and hit stuff up, and I will catch you lot in the next one. Oh, before I go, Mark says, can you get the black paddock shirt, Steve? The black paddock kit will be available. It looks fucking sensational, doesn't it? I mean, I'm happy to hear anyone's thoughts on that one. But it isn't going to be available until September, I don't think. So the home kits we've got, and they will be getting posted tomorrow. I know Janine is literally going into the office tomorrow to begin posting the hundreds of the home kits that we've sold. We then have the away kit, which is green and gold, which will be then going out in I think August. And then we will have in September the black kit, which is mega. But either way, take it easy. Let me know in the chat after this, because this chat disappears. So don't put it in this chat. Put it on the actual video comments. Things I need to do in San Diego. And I will catch you lot in the next one. Laters.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description.